Have you ever looked up at the night sky and felt a sense of overwhelming wonder? The twinkling stars, the vast empty spaces, and the sheer scale of it all can make you feel incredibly small. It feels real, solid, and three-dimensional. But what if I told you that everything you see, everything you touch, and everything you know might be an elaborate projection? What if our vast three-dimensional universe is actually a hologram? This isn't a concept from a science fiction film or a philosophical thought experiment. It's a genuine scientific idea, born from some of the deepest and most perplexing questions about the nature of reality itself. This idea, known as the holographic principle, suggests that the universe as we perceive it might be an illusion. It proposes that all the information that makes up our three-dimensional reality is actually encoded on a distant two-dimensional surface. Imagine a credit card hologram. It's a flat, two-dimensional surface, but when you tilt it, a three-dimensional image appears to pop out. The holographic principle suggests our universe works in a similar way, but on an unimaginable cosmic scale. The very fabric of space and time could be a grand projection from a flatter, simpler reality far away. Let's begin by taking a moment to consider what we mean by real. For most of us, reality is what we can perceive with our senses. We see the world in three glorious dimensions: length, width, and depth. We can move forward and backward, left and right, up and down. This three-dimensional space is the stage upon which our lives unfold. It feels fundamental, absolute, and unchangeable. This intuitive understanding of reality has served humanity well for millennia, allowing us to build cities, navigate oceans, and even launch rockets into the cosmos. But modern physics, particularly in the last century, has painted a much stranger picture of reality. Albert Einstein's theories of relativity showed us that space and time are not separate and absolute. Instead, they are interwoven into a single, dynamic fabric called space-time, which can be bent and warped by gravity. Then came quantum mechanics, which revealed that on the smallest scales, particles can be in multiple places at once, and can be mysteriously linked across vast distances. These discoveries have forced us to accept that the universe is far more bizarre and counterintuitive than it appears on the surface. This is where the holographic principle enters the scene. The holographic principle suggests that the laws of physics themselves might be creating a similar effect for the entire universe. Think of it like watching a three-dimensional film. You wear special glasses and suddenly, flat images on a screen leap out at you, creating a convincing illusion of depth. Before we can ask if the universe is a hologram, we need to understand what a hologram actually is. Most people think of the ghostly, three-dimensional images from science fiction films, like Princess Leia's famous message in Star Wars. Or perhaps you think of the small, shimmering sticker on your bank card or passport. While the sci-fi versions are a bit exaggerated, the basic principle is the same. A hologram is a special kind of photograph that records light in a way that allows a three-dimensional image to be recreated. It captures not just the intensity of light, but also its direction and phase, which is what creates the illusion of depth. The plate then records the interference pattern created where these two beams meet. This recorded interference pattern looks like a meaningless swirl of light and dark fringes. It bears no resemblance to the original object, but it contains all the information needed to reconstruct the three-dimensional light field of that object. When you shine the right kind of light, usually a laser, back through this flat two-dimensional plate, a full three-dimensional image of the original object appears. So the key takeaway here is this: a two-dimensional surface can store all the information needed to describe a three-dimensional object or scene completely. This is the simple, powerful analogy at the heart of the holographic principle. Now let's take that idea of a hologram and, well, scale it up, way up, to the size of the entire universe. The holographic principle proposes that our universe is like a giant cosmic version of that security sticker you find on your credit card. The sticker itself is a flat, two-dimensional surface, but when light hits it just right, a three-dimensional image of, say, a dove or a globe seems to float above it. The holographic principle suggests that the same might be true for our reality. It proposes that everything we experience in our three spatial dimensions, plus the dimension of time, is just a projection. The real universe, according to this theory, is actually a two-dimensional information field located at the farthest reaches of the cosmos. Think of it like this. The information on the surface is a scrambled mess, like a shredded document. The Hawking radiation is like someone pulling out tiny scraps of the shredded paper, one by one. Each individual scrap seems random and meaningless. But if you could collect every single piece of radiation over the entire lifetime of the black hole and find the right way to unscramble it, you would, in theory, be able to reconstruct the original encyclopedia.